check TikTok for a second, I know my algorithm. So I know what's going to pop up, and it's not going to be appropriate.
Yeah.
So I just want to look at stupid shit, but it's going to be someone half naked.
You got
but
a
like,
TikTok, bro?
What? I got TikTok, yeah.
Oh, boy.
I don't do anything on it.
Just look.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. They got you.
I just look, yeah.
They got you.
I know.
They want you to endlessly scroll.
I want them to, and I do. I'm not as bad as some people. Some people are crazy.
We should talk about cell phone addiction. I want to break it down. I like talking about human beings and how they work. Because it baffles me how stupid we are.
I was thinking about
how
this.
Smart we can be.
Yes. I was thinking about this with kids the other day. I had to hang out with my kid and Jen's kid all weekend.
Yeah.
And it's just fascinating. Something as simple as we were putting up stickers in Parker's new room. So it's like unicorn.
I saw it. It looks
yeah,
good.
we're putting up. But the kids, they got easily 45 stickers.
Yeah.
Easily. Could spread it on this wall that's, 10 by 8. They're putting all the fucking stickers in one spot. And I'm just like, but I wasn't mad. I was frustrated. But I'm like, why? What in your brain looks at this big thing and goes, no, right here. That's right here. You know what? Right here. Like, not even using the other area. It's the same thing with my 5th graders. They're so fucking dumb.
That's because they're kids.
Yeah.
And they have no life experience and they are dumb.
But I want to know what develops to make you then go, to expand the canvas and then go...
Dude, you could ask that question for so many things.
Right.
Like,
but I want to know what
why
that
do
is.
certain people develop certain ways?
Right.
Like my son Grant, he's amazing at chess. Amazing.
Yeah.
But he loves it. Like, he'll sit there and play with himself. Like,
Right.
Play chess with himself.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, aren't you bored?
Some people are nuts.
Why?
Like, especially people on the spectrum, they're capable of some crazy things.
I know.
Yep. Just like...
Asperger's type stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. I knew a guy that you could say a word, and he would immediately know how many letters were in it.
Then put your headphones on to start yelling to get closer to the mics.
Oh, boy.
Is this one yours?
I don't have one. We're not wearing
Just get closer to the mic, that's all.
I can do this. We can get serious.
Yes,
Hold
boss.
on to the microphone.
Holding on to the microphone.
Like this?
Keeping it tight. Keeping it tight.
That's better.
Can you hear me? It's good?
That's
I just wanted to keep some of the fan on.
Would this be okay if I stay right here?
Just away from the mics.
This is good right here.
I think so.
Yeah.
You gotta ask the sound
Yeah, because
production team.
we could turn it
I
down.
get in trouble
as
because,
needed.
like, me and you, when we get talking, we get excited and we start yelling.
Dude,
I can't help it.
My voice pierces, too. It was the same thing with
Your
singing.
voice carries.
Yeah, it was the same thing with singing. They would
Really?
always have to turn my mic down.
Really?
In small venues, I wouldn't even need one.
Get out.
Yeah.
Okay, are we recording
Yeah.
this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, no
Oh,
shit.
shit.
You're welcome.
What, good transition. What, tell me about your band days. I didn't even know this about you.
So technically, me singing started in 1st grade, and it was in music class, and we had to sing this song called De Colores. I'll never forget it because my mom made fun of me for years. But I refused to sing it in class. Refused.
Really?
And my teacher was like,
Why did you refuse?
Didn't want to. And she's like, why aren't you singing? And I'm like, because this song's stupid. Like a typical 1st grader. I'm like, this song's stupid. And she's like, is this song stupid or can you not sing? I was like, I can sing. And so she made me sing it in front of the whole class. Like I had to stand up in front of the class and sing it by myself. And then it went really well. So she's like, oh my gosh, you're singing it tomorrow at the assembly. So I had to sing it in front of the whole school the next day.
That didn't make you nervous?
No, and that's kind of what I didn't realize as a 1st grader, but like I've never once been nervous singing.
Really?
No, okay, let me rephrase.
Maybe
if
'cause
you
you're
asked me
good
to
at
sing
it.
right now, I'd shit myself.
Really?
Like, I'd straight shit myself. But you could put me in
I
the
won't ask
KeyBank
you.
Center with thousands of people, and I wouldn't be nervous
Do you
at all.
know why? When people sing, and this is not to be offensive,
Yeah.
it just makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's
Even
so
watching
uncomfortable.
people sing.
Dude.
To sit there and watch somebody sing the
Yeah.
whole time, I just can't look
That's
at
like
a human
what
being.
serenading someone is
Oh
the most
my
awkward thing
God.
in the world. Yeah.
Thank you.
Girls
Do you guys
ask
feel
all
that way?
throughout the years, like, will you sing to me? And I always say no, because it'd be so awkward.
It's cringe.
Yeah, it's almost
Young people
not,
talk.
and it's worse when you can sing. When it's the same, it's why I won't do karaoke, because karaoke is not supposed to be good. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be goofy.
Well,
so
that's why
when
you have to
you
be
get up
wasted
and
to
you
do it.
sing really well, it's like record scratch, and everyone's like, "What?"
Why are you doing
Yeah,
that?
right. And they think you're an asshole. You're like, hey, I'm just drunk singing "We Got Friends in Low Places,"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're up there singing great. Like, you piece of shit. Now I'm not gonna sing again.
Yeah.
So I don't do karaoke because it gets real awkward real fast. It's the same thing with like, I feel like if you're a shitty singer and you serenade someone, like it's a thought that counts. So this is really cute.
Yeah,
But when
yeah.
you're really good, you're like, what do I do? Like this is.
I know.
This is good.
That's what I
Like,
mean.
yeah.
The sitting and watching
It's so
somebody,
awkward.
because you gotta watch all the notes and like,
Yep.
what if they mess up? That's my thing. Whenever
Right.
I'm watching somebody like play piano or singing, I'm just waiting for like the 1 second
Yes.
where they fuck up and it's like,
Yep. They do
I
the
noticed
national
that 'cause I
anthem
had to
every
watch
time.
it.
National anthem every time.
Oh, really?
But so it started there, and then I joined like a pop punk cover band
Yeah.
in 7th grade called the Cartoon Mafia. And started playing shows like crazy, and we were fortunate to be
Playing shows like crazy as a 7th grader?
Yes, like so we were fortunate to be in a hotbed for music. So I don't know if you remember the band when we were in high school, Gym Class Heroes.
Yeah.
They were a hip hop band. They went to the high school next to us. So they went to the high school next to us.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Mid Lakes. They went to Geneva on the Finger Lakes.
Oh,
So when
is that
I
where
say
you're
playing
from?
shows, yeah, on the Finger Lakes, yep.
No shit.
So like when I say playing shows like crazy, it was shows in our cafeteria with Gym Class Heroes.
Really?
And like Every Time I Die was starting in Buffalo, and Roses Are Red were in. Ice Nine Kills, that's a big band now, was, oh my God, there was someone else. Joywave, which is a big band, they were the Hoodies. So all these bands were from Rochester.
You have to remember my parents are deaf.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not a big music
So-
person.
so anyways,
not
all
a lot
these
of music
bands-
going on in my house.
All these bands were so every Friday was at a show. Like we were playing somewhere, that's what we're doing. And everyone was
Really?
sort of in competition with each other because gym class was starting to take off. So I decided I wanted to get serious about it in 9th grade. So I had to tell like my best friends in this pop punk band, I can't do this anymore. I need something serious. So there was another band at my school with some guys that are now like my closest friends.
Really?
And they were super serious about it. And that was Nate in Public. So I joined Nate in Public.
Nate
in Public, yeah.
So do you remember Tony Farraco? He's an attorney
Yes.
now.
Oh yeah, he loves Nate in Public.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know he does.
Yes, he does.
I was
yes.
putting in his kitchen sink, and I was telling him about we were talking
Yes.
about the podcast, and you came up, and he's like, "Bill Beck? You mean you know Bill Beck?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah. He had a band." I'm like, "I think, yeah." He said he
Yeah.
was, Nate in Public, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yeah." Like, and he's like, starting
Never
to get
met
all
before.
excited, and he's like, "Yeah, I used to listen to him all the time." I'm like, "You did what?"
The first time I met Tony, I was sitting in the Monroe County Public Defender's office.
Oh, really?
I'm sitting in the waiting room waiting to interview as a lawyer. Tony walks in, he goes, "Bill Beck?" And I was like, "Yes." And he goes, "Dude, Nate in Public." And he comes up and he shakes my hand. I was like, "Oh, thanks, man. Those are the days."
Was it
Yeah.
like weird? Was it almost? Did you feel famous?
It still happens today. I will
Really?
still get messaged by random people on Facebook and say, "Are you the singer for Nate in Public?" And I'll say,
Get
"Yes."
out.
Yep, still today. Well, I'll get random messages. Yeah.
I'm a little jealous.
Are you
So-
you're not singing anymore?
So not like that
Dude,
anymore.
if you not heard this guy's life story, he doesn't have time.
So what happened?
Famous band, lawyer, school teacher now. Like, he's busy.
There's 7 days in a week. You
Right?
can do this.
I can
So-
barely do normal life duties in 7 days a
Dude,
week.
it was crazy. Luckily, we had a guy in the band who was severely OCD because he would freak out if we didn't practice every day. So while other
Really?
kids were like partying and playing sports, we all played sports, but we practiced every day after school for 2 hours. Every day, because literally Travis would fucking freak out if we didn't practice.
Is it like a big deal to practice? I feel like, see, that's what I mean. I don't
For
understand
us,
music.
I think it is, especially at that time. Now, not so much anymore. But at that time, what really distinguished you from good bands was the song that you put on an album. Does it sound anywhere close to that live? Because there's so many bands that you'd go to and see live, and they suck ass.
Really?
So it really meant a lot to us that our live show sounded as close to the album as possible, and that takes a ton of practice.
No shit.
So then we hit college, and that's when things started to take off. In 2007, we were contacted by AP Magazine, and they said, "We want to put you in our magazine for," which is, I don't know if you've ever seen it. I've still got a cover of the magazine. It's alternative
I
press.
know.
So they're
I'm
like,
actually the best person to talk to about this because I got no
there we
fucking
go.
clue. I got no
So
clue.
they contacted us, said, "We know you guys have been playing a shit ton of shows. We've heard about you. We want to put you in our magazine for top unsigned band in the nation."
Really?
And they're like, "Are you signed?" And we're like, "No, we're trying like hell, but no." So they're like, "All right, we're gonna put you in." And that gym class actually did that before they got signed. So we were like, "This is exactly how gym class did it." They got in on this promotion, and ta-da!
Oh, you had to be so excited.
So excited. Like, our bassist is a fucking idiot. He was telling everyone, "We're gonna get signed." We're like, "Dude, relax."
Yeah. So, well, listen, there has to be somebody for every part because I'm that guy.
That was him.
I get
Yep.
overly excited about things way before I should.
That was him.
But that being said, that's why I am where I
Yeah.
am. And like he probably was a cog in the machine that helped
Yes.
you guys get to where you were getting.
He's a bassist. Cog is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, and it was the same year that we got to play Warped Tour.
Oh.
And the way that we
You
got to
played
play,
Warped
the
Tour?
way that we got to play Warped Tour was a battle of the bands. It was the Ernie Ball Battle of the Bands, and it was with 91 bands. And the winner got to play Warped Tour, and we won. So
Get
yeah.
out.
So
So
played
you
Warped
were
Tour.
really like famous.
I mean, For the Ernie Ball stage at Warped Tour, yes. For a year or two, yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
man, I'm realizing this because, like, not that this is a big deal at all, but people hear about it, so there's
Yeah.
conversation about it.
Yeah.
It's like very minimal level fame.
Yeah.
But that's all fame is.
For sure.
Is the more people talking about, the more relevant you are.
Yep.
So even my little tiny taste, like, I can't imagine you were playing it off like it's nothing because you had your sights probably set higher.
Yeah,
But
right.
that's famous,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Like, do you know how many people know of Warped Tour and go to Warped Tour?
Right.
That's a huge
It
deal.
was so much fun.
Oh.
And then it was all in this year with AP Magazine Warped Tour that Victory Records approached us. At the time, Victory Records was Taking Back Sunday, Dashboard, I think Dashboard Confessional, bands like that. They approached us and said, we want to sign you. So we're like, oh my God, this is going to finally happen. So the guy gave us his card. And then he said, I'm going to contact you. And we knew the deal from talking to other bands. What you do is you fly out to Chicago, you play for their boss, like literally awkward. Like in a room, you play for
Ooh,
him.
I can't do
right.
that.
And then if he likes you, it sounded like the Mob. Like if he likes
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you're in. If not, he gives you the thumbs down, you're out.
And we hear this now because of podcasts. Like, that's just all of legacy media. There was
Yep.
these what do you call them, gatekeepers?
Yeah.
But they're all douchebags.
Yep.
They're all these giant douchebags.
They basically painted it like the Mob. So, but we never heard back. So we go to Warped Tour. We play Warped Tour, and then there's a Victory Records bus there, like selling merch and stuff like that. And we go up to one of their guys, and we're like, "Hey, we're looking for this guy." And we give him the card, and he goes, "Who are you guys?" And we're like, "We're Nate in Public." He's like, "Oh my God, yeah, this guy was like raving about you guys all throughout the office." And we're like, "Yeah, like we were super excited. What happened?" He goes, "Oh, he got fired."
Oh,
and we were
no.
like, "For what?" And he said he had sex with his secretary in the office and got caught. So he
That'll do
got
it.
canned. So we're like, that would be our luck. And he's like, but let me see what I can do. We're like, okay, great. Never heard of him again. So that was 2008. We graduated college in 2009.
Oh.
And we'd all been best friends since like 8th grade. So we sat down, had a heart to heart, and said, do we do this and go for it, or do we pack it in? And we decided we're going to pack it in.
Oh, no.
So 2009, we packed it in. I went to law school. Dennis went to med school. He's a doctor. Travis
So you guys are all doing great.
Yeah, we're all doing okay.
That's the luck component
Yeah.
that all the famous people, like, they always talk about. Like, yeah, I'm great at what I do, but I got really lucky.
Yeah.
Because your luck
Right.
just happened to be the opposite.
Oh, yeah,
luck
absolutely.
That guy got fired.
It takes a ton. Even past that, like learning about the industry. When my buddies from the Hoodies, but now Joywave, got signed, I talked to them. And to this day, their singer's name is Dave. He still calls me Nate because from when the days of the Hoodies and Nate in Public, he would just call me Nate. So he still to this day
you're
knows
the
my
front
name's
man
not
singer,
Nate.
right?
Yes, yeah.
And it would make sense. If I didn't know you, I would have thought your name
So
was
I
Nate.
saw him after all these years. I was like, Dave. He's like, Nate. And I said, Dave, it's still not my name. But I talked to him, and the deal they had with their record, and this is paraphrased, and I could be butchering it, but the record label signed them for 2 albums. But the deal was, we will front the cost for the first album. If your album sells, then we will call it even, and we'll produce your second album. If your album flops, we're not going to produce a second album, and you owe us the money back for the first album.
Ooh.
So I asked him, and I'm like, how much money are we talking? He's like, $650,000. So I'm like, Jesus. He's like, so even making it is super fucking stressful.
Oh,
and
I'm
I'm
sure.
like, because they were playing on
I was
Conan.
just telling about this that
Yeah.
there's just levels to life.
Yeah.
And even if you're a millionaire,
Yeah.
it just means you got $1 million problems.
Yeah.
Everything's always on a margin. Like everything, there's just levels to life.
Right, because Jim, yeah.
$10, like if you got only $100 left to manage, like $10 and a $10 bill is such a big deal. If you got $1 million, you got a $900,000 bill. Like it's still
Right.
percentage wise, I guess.
Yeah.
kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the stress you feel is pretty much the
Yep.
same.
Yeah, it's true. And then so we packed it in. I went to law school, graduated law school, passed the bar, and then I had a revival because my best friend was in a metal band.
Yeah.
So, because Nate in Public was like indie rock. The guys
Yeah.
would let me scream live, but they would never let me scream on the album.
Yeah. I listened to,
So it was
to
like,
a couple
yeah, it was like
of those
indie.
songs. I liked it. It was good.
So I get done with law school, pass the bar. My best friend contacts me, and he's like, all right, it's time for you to get back in a band again. No more bar, no more law school excuses. Like,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
back in a band. I'm like, what band? Nate in Public's dead. He's like, my band. I'm like, you're in a metal band. And he's like, so what? And I was like, one, I don't know how to scream. And two, you have a singer. He's like, we're going to kick him out. And you're going to learn how to scream.
You look like you could be in a metal band.
So I learned how to scream. So much fun.
Really?
So
It
much
has
fun.
to be.
It was humbling. So the first time, so like screaming live, so much fun and easy. It just comes naturally. Screaming in an empty booth while recording with no crowd, so hard. Like finding that adrenaline to just scream.
So you were
was
getting energy
awkward.
off the crowd.
Yes, yeah. So like, and your voice is raspy from naturally singing.
Yeah.
But like going in healthy as a horse and just having to scream sounded fucking terrible.
Really?
So it was so humbling because singing's always come naturally to me since I was a kid. But I remember the first time going into the booth for screaming, the producer stopped me. And he's like, how long have you been doing this for? I was like, a couple months. He's like, you got to go practice for a few months more and come back.
Really?
And for me, like, singers are naturally egotistical.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
someone who's just
You're
like
leading
fluid,
in.
like being like, what? And I'm like, Jesus, okay. So, but once I got the hang of it, and if I tried to do it now, no way. I'd have to
Because I
practice
think
for
you had
months
to
again.
practice
Yeah.
a lot. Wow.
So, and we just lucked out again. Like my first show was with big bands like Emery and Norma Jean.
Really?
And then one of my idol singers from Protest the Hero, we contacted him and we were like, hey, I'm from Nate in Public and this is my new band Pushfire. Would you sing on our album? And he said, sure. So like the Pushfire's album was not out yet.
Yeah.
Is got one of my favorite singers of all time on there.
So you never made any money?
We made money. I think
Really?
yeah, we made money, like, but not anything like
Serious.
of note. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like we would
yeah.
sell merch. Like our biggest
Merch.
like our other
That's
other
so
than Warped
cool.
Tour, our biggest show was this big show at Harrow East Ballroom in Rochester.
Did you get paid for Warped Tour?
Oh no, that was you win,
Really?
you're in. Yeah, that was your opportunity. Yeah, you don't get paid shit for that.
Shit.
And it's so shitty. It was the most exhausting day because yes, we got to play, but we were a small man on totem pole, so we had to be there at 7 a.m. to do what's called frontlining, or I mean backlining, which is so if like this is our guitar cabs. Our guitar cabs go up front because we're going to be playing close to the beginning. Everyone else's guitar cabs go like this, and they all get removed one by one. So by the time the last band plays, they've got this stage. But because everyone else's equipment is on the stage,
So you're playing like
you've
this?
got this stage, yes. So, but because we had to be the front, we had to load first. So
And then you have to sit there all
and then we have to sit there all day in the blistering
Oh.
sun. So I remember one day I was on our bus and just sitting there exhausted. It's only like 2 p.m. And our guitarist comes on and he's like, hey, do you want to play Frisbee? And I'm like, no, I really don't. I'm fucking exhausted. He goes, do you want to play Frisbee with Paramore? And I was like, yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So like,
That's
it got
really
me-
cool in its own right.
Yeah, it was so cool. And like we were parked next to Coed and Cambria's bus. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So it was super fun. Yeah.
Dude,
Right?
that's
Yeah.
a life.
And then I became a lawyer. Yeah.
And then you
Right.
became a
And then
lawyer.
I became a lawyer.
Did
yeah.
you just hate your life
As a lawyer?
Yeah.
Fucking hated it. Yeah.
because
Well-
you just had like I feel like a lot of stuff is timing too. You had to have such an experience as a
Yeah.
music person and then go to school and just law.
Well, it's not even that. I love learning. So I love the educational part. Like I
Yeah.
loved being back in school. That
Yeah.
I just hated being a lawyer. That was
Yeah.
I could have loved it.
I feel like it's a job that inherently brings stress because you're.
Yeah.
Again, I don't mean to ever be in. I say this a lot to a lot of people. I don't mean to insult, but it's the words that come to mind off, knee-jerk reaction. You're combative.
Yeah. Yeah. For
Lawyers
sure.
are just generally combative.
Yes.
That's your job.
Well, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with an adversarial system and like that. But the only thing worse, like it's kind of like a good fight. Like you appreciate a good fight.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
appreciate a shitty fight.
No.
Like, and that's all being a lawyer is. It's shitty fights. Like I would have loved to like gear up for a super highly intellectual, creative, legal battle. That's not what it is.
It's a lot of little bullshit.
It's a lot of little bullshit. It's a lot of, well, the judge is my friend. I went to his fundraiser.
Oh,
so
boy,
you've
oh,
got a really good
boy.
argument, but you're not going to win. And it's that, you'll spend hours and days preparing something and then you find out, no.
You don't have a shot.
You don't have a shot in the world.
It wasn't worth it at all.
Right. So, and I've
that's
had,
so
and it
sad.
became sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? The romance of it was out the window when I'd have to tell clients when they would be like, no, the law's on my side. I'd be like, no, I understand that. But that's not how it goes. Like, it just has nothing to do with the law. And I just couldn't do it because I love a good fight. So I became the asshole because.
But you're not.
Right. But I became in that realm.
Right.
And so I just
From
realized it wasn't
that
for me.
perspectives, yeah.
I love a good fight. I love a legal battle. Let's duke it out. Let's have a trial where they're all like, whoa, we don't do that. Like, we all kind of like blow smoke and mirrors and we bitch about little
Just
things.
keep
we
the
make a ton
wheel
of money. It
turning,
drags it out for a
yeah.
couple years and then we settle. Like, that's what we do. And I was just like, oh, this fucking sucks. Yeah.
See, that's why I think I love you so much.
Yeah.
Is you're like me. Like, I believed in something. I moved out there. I raised animals. Like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Yours is like you had strong morals and ethics, and you just couldn't let them go.
And
And I don't know anybody that would quit being an attorney because of the money you make.
yeah. Oh, yeah. The money was just, that's why I tell people that. I was like, if I cared about money, I would still be a lawyer.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't important. And it wasn't worth the stress and the sacrifice of what I think was right.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do it anymore. On stage, I haven't been on stage since 2017.
Would you again if you could?
Not like I couldn't the way I would. It would be a huge blow to my ego if I tried to sing the way I used to sing.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Why?
Without practice. I would have to practice.
No,
for
no. I
probably
mean,
a good-
would you go through the whole process again?
for
Would
sure.
you? Would you be
100%.
like a? Let's just say the new thing, the new music trend was what you're good at.
Yes.
And somebody approached you, and then like things just started taking off. Like they
Even
did.
if someone said, do you want to do like an acoustic cover band, I would do that.
Really?
100%. Yeah.
You
Yep.
love music that much.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Love it.
No shit.
Yep. Love
See,
it.
that blows my mind because I don't give a fuck about music.
Right? It's something. It's something.
so not my thing.
I had a
I like
philosophical
listening to
argument
it.
that I think it's biological. People have disagreed with me, but I think music is biological.
I
I
would
do.
Well, there's all different humans and
Right.
everything. I mean, that's yeah.
I would
I
love
completely
to see
agree with
studies
that,
on
yeah.
it. And if I continued with philosophy, that was going to be my dissertation. An argument that
Really?
music is biological. And I was going to
Yeah.
do studies on it and things like that.
I think that's pretty logical what you're saying because
Right.
that's like a creative mind.
babies
versus
dance. Like babies dance. They don't get taught to dance. Like when you play babies'
Yeah.
music, they know.
It
You
just-
play babies' music in the womb. There's studies on that.
Yeah, but I think
you
that's-
play a major chord that sounds happy. Like something in us goes, "That's happy." You play a minor chord or something dissonant, you go, "Ah."
Yeah, but
like
here's
you're not
the thing.
taught that.
What you're saying is the advanced level of music some people have. I think all humans in general, when music gets played, if it's a good beat, like you
Right.
want to like move with
I think
it.
there's something in us.
And
But-
all humans, I'm saying, but I'm saying
For sure.
I'm not a musical person, as in can't play any instruments, don't
Right.
like singing, don't like watching people sing,
Right.
wouldn't go to a concert.
Yeah.
But like I listen to house music all the time
For
in my
sure.
truck, and I jam out like a motherfucker. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think all humans biologically like music, but you have next level shit.
Well, I think so, but I don't even think we have to be all. Like it could be about any sort of biological trait. Like it could be like cigars or wine or
Yeah,
sports
what your
or anything.
interests are, yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like some people just have it and other people just don't.
I was
So I think music, some people just have it.
I was
Yeah.
just talking to a farmer about this, that I'm so interested in the fact that when you're interested in something, it comes so easily to you.
Yeah.
It's not work. You can be so smart in something, and people are like, oh my gosh, how are you so good at that? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just really like it.
Yep.
Like construction to me, dude, I could do that in my sleep.
Yep.
But to some people, it's like
That's where we're
the
lucky.
end of the world. They're like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's where Nate and Bubba was lucky. As 15, 16-year-olds, every day after school for 2 hours. Like, because we just loved it so much. So it wasn't a chore. It
I'm
wasn't
so
like
jealous of
study,
your.
yeah.
You seem to just be really good at shit. Because when I was 15 or 16, I
basketball.
didn't have any. See, I was good at basketball.
I'm so bad at basketball.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you
dude.
just try playing?
Dude, I tried a 3-point competition against the kids last year. I didn't make a single shot. Like, not even close. I feel like I'm an athlete until I play basketball. And then I look
Yeah.
like I've never played a sport in my life.
So that's, in my mind, I think there's two forms of being athletic. Because I find myself fairly athletic. I can play any sport at like a 60 to 70% efficiency level.
Yeah.
So I look athletic.
Right.
In all sports.
Yep.
Table tennis, golf, football, basketball, volleyball. I can play them all.
Yeah.
That to me is athletic.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is, I think you're an athletic person. I've played volleyball with you. I would call you athletic.
I think I would
But
call
if I
myself
watched you
athletic.
play basketball, I'd probably say you're
Correct.
not athletic.
Or lacrosse, yes. You know, like, and this is, I apologize if this offends anyone, but you know, like, when you imagine what like a girl looks like throwing, like, it's kind of like this
Yes.
thing, that's me in lacrosse.
Oh,
it's
really?
like this dainty, leg kicks back kind of thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how these guys whip the thing out
I
of there and it
played.
goes
I
forward.
was the captain of my lacrosse team.
fucking suck.
I love it.
Yeah, so bad. It's,
She played lacrosse.
Yep.
She was.
I'm so
probably
bad.
one of the best players at West Seneca East. Weren't you? Don't you have some records?
Give me a lot of credit. Yeah,
Don't you have a lot of
I
records?
had most goals scored for
Okay,
the.
so
See?
give me
For
a lot
my
of credit.
junior-
You have the most goals scored at West Seneca East.
Junior
Catching
year.
it, that I can do all day. Catching
Yeah.
it all day. When it comes to getting that thing back out of there, it is so awkward for me.
I've already told people I do drugs. That the other day I did an edible type weed, so
Okay.
it wasn't super high. It was like a really low dose.
Yeah, yeah.
What was I doing? I was running my excavator, right? I probably shouldn't tell people that I'm doing edibles and running an excavator. But I will
In your
say this.
driveway. You're just
in my
testing it.
driveway
Yeah,
at
you're
home.
just-
Yeah, I was not
yeah,
going to say.
yeah.
No, very seriously. And I've never run that machine so smoothly before in my life.
Really?
Because I thought less. And it's like a confidence thing. Because I
Right.
just didn't think about it so much, it just seemed like I was just like, it looked like it was a part of me. Like
Really?
I almost felt like I was a part of the machine. Because I was so relaxed and not thinking about it. Normally, I think when you're sober, you tend to think about things too much, and that takes away from your confidence.
Yeah.
But the best players I've seen in sports, they almost don't think.
Yeah, right.
It
Right.
just comes to you.
Yeah.
And that's how I was. I was just like, and then like.
See, I wish it was like that for me with music. I had band practice once, stoned.
Yeah.
Hated every second.
Really?
Hated every
What
second.
about
of
you
it.
think if you were drunk though?
No, so I refused to drink before shows.
Why?
Because I didn't mind the effect that being drunk is. It fucked with my voice. So the only time I would be drunk for shows is if I was sick, because I would try, like, desperately to tell the guys, please cancel the show. I'm sick. And like it's hard to get guitarists, who I hate to this day and will hate for the rest of my life, guitarists to
boy.
understand, but not sound like an egotistical singer when I say to them, with all the love in the world, you don't matter. Okay? Like, you don't matter. I'm sorry. But when people come to shows, they look at me. Like,
Yep.
their eyes are on me.
Well-
and newsflash, if you guys are guitar virtuosos, but I suck dick,
Yeah.
the band sucks dick, okay?
Correct.
So you guys can be incredible, but if I fucking suck, we all suck.
Yeah.
Okay? So you guys have to understand that. But
Yeah,
by the
now
same
that I think
token,
about that, anybody can play the
Oh,
guitar.
for sure.
But it's this lead
it's
singer.
not even that though. Like, I think there's amazing guitarists, but to the untrained ear that's just at a show, if that singer is up there and is tone deaf, you're not listening to that band. You're not sitting there
Right.
going, oh, but the
Well-
guitar's so good. Like, no, you're leaving.
No,
you're leaving.
You're not being egotistic. That's a fact. I
It
mean,
is.
look at every band.
But no,
Their
but the
lead
thing is,
singer
and this is
who's the most famous.
But here's the fucking problem with guitarists, okay? They're in one ear and out the other while they're doing make noise. They gotta make noise the whole fucking time. Could you imagine if I was at band practice going the whole time? That's a fucking guitarist. Just the whole time. You're trying to talk to him. You're trying to have a serious conversation. Could you fucking stop for 1 second? They can't. They love themselves so
This is
much.
why I love this podcast and I love learning new perspectives. Never once in my mind did it ever cross my mind.
Go to the next show you ever go to.
think about that. Now
watch
I'm gonna be
that
looking for it.
goddamn guitarist.
I will.
The guitar will be in tune. He can't. He
No,
can't
I just
put
no,
it down.
I just mean the perspective of like I never would have thought that
Yep.
would piss somebody off.
Yep.
I would never have like
Infuriating.
thought, but I'm sure if I was in the music industry
Yep.
and I was like, I'd be like, God damn it.
Yep.
Fucking Jerry's fucking playing the guitar again.
Yep.
Would you knock it off, Jerry?
Yep.
You suck.
So then I'd be like, so I'd have to like explain to them. They're like, we got to practice. I'm like, you have to practice, okay? Because it makes you feel better. I don't have to practice. I can go sing right now. It's gonna sound fucking great. Okay, so you go
Yeah.
practice because it literally pains you to not be doing this.
Oh
okay,
my
so
God.
like, but it was frustrating. So
Hey,
fuck guitarists.
Speaking of drinking and performing, do you need another one?
Yes, I would take one.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
do.
Yes.
All right. See, this is good staff. This is if anybody else is watching, great staff. They get you beers. If
But that's where I'm at.
you don't have staff that get you beers, you didn't make it.
Now, my dream is Parker loves to sing.
Yeah.
She loves to sing.
Aw.
The thing, thank you so much. Here's something that I want this recorded because I'm waiting for this to come up someday and, and I want it to bite me in the ass.
Oh boy.
One thing that has been infuriating to me about people, and I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it.
Hot take. It can
I'm
be
just-
edited out.
This
Don't
is a
worry.
hot take.
Don't worry. It
This
can
is
be
a hot
edited
take,
out.
but let me reel it back in
No, I
after it
wanna hear
comes
this.
out. I don't think, even thinking about it, this is going to be bad.
It's gonna sound probably terrible.
It's going to sound so bad.
It happens to me all the time.
I
don't
don't
worry.
think. I'm so sorry. I don't think women have any place on stage.
You don't have to apologize to me.
Yep.
And didn't you?
Well, he's in general because you're a woman.
That's
Yes.
fine.
Didn't you
Don't
play-
do that.
Sure. Okay. Sorry.
Don't do that.
I don't. For me, I don't
You have to explain
understand
it.
why.
You have to explain it.
So I don't know. I don't know. There's something when I imagine, and I can't think of an analogy right now, but when I imagine the position of a singer, like it's. This is all in explaining.
It's
It's
okay, you
getting
can
worse.
explain it.
It's powerful. It's malleable. It is like capable of many different things. It's capable of a huge range. It's capable of different types of voices. It's sex appeal. It's everything for a singer.
But why can't a
And
woman
I
do that?
just don't get that from a woman. Like I don't get that from a woman frontman. I just don't think a woman has a place on stage as a front person. Drums, guitar, bass, knock yourself out. I just can't get behind it. I don't know why.
It's okay.
I don't know why.
It's just like an innate feeling you
Yes.
have.
So like
because
whenever
everything you're saying, my devil's advocate answer to you is like, I know tons of powerful women singers who have great sex
Sure.
appeal,
Yep.
who have great voices,
Yep.
who sing very well. So to me, again, I'm confused as to
So
like,
for me, for me, it's, you know, when you walk in to something and you see, like, for me, it's a band. When I walk in and there's a woman on stage singing, I'm like, no, I'm not interested. Just not
Really?
interested. I don't know why. I think it's because I hold the position in such a high level.
right. I was just gonna say, I think
like,
it's because of your understanding of the
Yes.
position and your passion for the position.
So, and if someone
I
came
have
to
that
me,
for shit about different shit,
right?
so I get it.
And if someone came to me and said, "Sing like a woman," I could train myself to sing like a woman. If they said, "Scream," I could train myself to scream. If they said scream way down here, scream way up here. I feel like if you said to most women, not all women,
Right.
spirit box, you ever get a chance? That chick's got bigger balls than I do. Okay? So
Literally
but,
or figuratively?
she might be. Yeah. How she screams like that, I have no idea. But I just feel like they'd be like, well, I can't do that. And that's where I feel like I draw the line in, then you aren't as good.
Right.
You aren't capable. It's the same thing with kind of like sports.
Yeah.
Like, you can do your own thing, but you won't be at the level. Like, you can't kick the ball as far. You
Right.
can't, you can't hit as hard.
Well, it's just a fact of life. I mean,
Right.
I've said this in other podcasts. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, did you bring this up to Paramore when you were playing frisbee with
So
him?
no, and Haley has such a good voice. Like,
Yeah.
she's so good.
Yeah.
Like,
but I know what you're saying, but
Yeah.
it's like because of your understanding and your passion for it, she just doesn't
and
have.
how hard I worked at it to like be able to do all these different things that I don't see the range and the capabilities in a woman's
But this
voice
is a
and
good
in a man's
point.
voice.
I think about this a lot. Is that people can't differentiate generalizations, which is what you're doing right now, a generalization and
Yep.
stereotypes,
Yep.
from like taking it as a personal attack.
Right.
Because I
Yep.
know there's gonna be people who listen and go, he's a sexist, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah,
Yep.
he hates women. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, he's making a generalization. And I've said this many times, that there's just roles
Yeah.
for men and there's roles for women.
Yeah.
I will never have a baby as good as a woman.
Yeah. And it's not
Common
even
fucking
me
sense.
saying,
Because I can't have a baby.
and I,
But that's what I'm saying is like that's a generalization and people will take offense to it.
Right.
Well, that's just become a no. It's
And
obvious.
I try to choose my words carefully to say, and if I didn't, I apologize. This I do apologize for. I try to say, for me, it's not a place for
Right,
women.
From
For
your
me, it's not a
perspective,
place
that's
for
what I'm
women.
saying. Your
It's not
understanding.
objectively like women. It's wrong for a woman to be
Right,
on
and you're not
stage.
saying they can't.
Right. Just for me, for my preference, when I walk in, I think I want to see a guy up there. Like,
Yeah.
I can't get into it if it's a woman.
No, see, and this is what I was hoping that the podcast would bring up in these kind of conversations, because I feel like when you're out in general public, and again, I'm generalizing, you can't talk like this.
Yeah.
Because people want to have these instant knee-jerk
Yeah.
reactions to what you just said.
Yep.
And then, like, the first sentence that came out of your mouth about a woman can't,
Yep.
they would have been all over your ass.
Yep.
And
So-
it's like, give the person a minute to explain, because it took literally, 2 minutes
Yeah.
for you to explain your reasoning behind
Yeah.
it. Whether I agree with it or not is
Sure.
irrelevant.
Yep.
You were able to say your point, explain it, and we're still here.
Right.
Like, we're not fighting. We're
Right.
not. But these conversations don't happen outside of a podcast.
Right.
That's what makes me so sad.
And I want it recorded because I want Parker to
To
become
hear
a
it?
famous singer and,
And
hear it
shove
and
it in your
shove it
face?
fucking down my
That's
throat.
cool as
Yep,
shit.
I want
I
her
like
to. Yep.
that.
I want her to be able to do everything and just shove it straight
Out of
down my
spite?
throat. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
like that.
I want it recorded that I said
That's
women
so
have no
cool.
place on stage.
Yeah.
And then she
she's
becomes
like, hey,
fucking
Dad,
famous.
Guess what?
Yeah.
I'm on fucking
Yep.
stage.
She loves singing. She's got a great voice.
Aw.
Can't wait to sing with her. So I hope she loves it. Because if she
Yeah.
doesn't love it, I'm not gonna force her into it like I
Yeah.
did. But like I loved it. But so far she loves it. So
Yeah, I have thoughts about that too. You wanted to say something?
I was just gonna say it's just like if you had a different genre of movies that you like. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
You just prefer not to have a woman
Right.
on stage.
Right.
I prefer not to watch. I don't know, like country
movies?
movies or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do that on purpose.
Right.
Right.
That's
I'm
not
not gonna
your
walk
thing.
into a room into a theater and be like, oh cool, an old western.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
sit down and watch this. It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
It's
It's
not
because
your
you get in your,
taste.
isn't there a Seinfeld episode about this? There's a Seinfeld episode.
Is there?
I
When
think there's a Seinfeld
he gets a
episode about
massage.
everything.
George goes to get a massage and it's a guy.
Oh, yeah,
And he's
yeah.
just like, just not the image you had.
No.
Yeah, it's just like it's not
That
that
is
he,
a thing.
It's not that he does it any worse. It's just that's not what I imagined.
Yeah.
That's not what. Yep.
And it's just like a little. It's just such a little detail, but it could make it all the
Yep.
difference in the world. You're right.
Yep. there's
I would
league
never get
of-
a massage from a guy. That's just how
I
I feel.
would.
I don't want to get my hair cut by a guy either.
Same here.
Yeah.
It's got to be a womanly touch.
Yeah.
It's something about a woman's touch when you're getting your
Yep.
hair cut or a massage. But I will say I have had a back rub once from a dude. they're way stronger.
Oh God,
Their
it's gotta
hands
be.
are. It's so much better.
It's gotta be.
I mean, no offense. Again, I don't mean, but just we're built different, and men's hands
Right.
are like huge
Yep.
and stronger.
Yeah.
It was.
How was the end of it?
Fantastic.
I thought
He
it
did a
was.
great job. He knew exactly where to go. I mean, he's a dude.
Yeah.
Bill knows what I'm talking about. I don't know if you're there yet.
So yeah, transition into another dominated by men
Do it.
sport, weightlifting.
Okay.
Can you tell me? Because I don't know if I think I told you this. I think I messaged you when I saw on Facebook how in shape you're getting.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm
Yeah.
just so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of myself. Yeah.
Because it's not. I have this struggle a lot. It's not that I don't hate fat people, and this is not a. It's gonna sound. It's like a
kinda
hard
do.
thing to say. I kind of do too,
I
but
kinda do
not
too.
because I hate them.
Right.
It's because I understand what they're going through, and to me personally, my
Yeah.
point of view, like it's not hard
Yeah.
to
Right.
control, and you're living proof of it. Like you were a little heavier,
Yep.
and then realized it at one point, and totally like you look. ripped.
I've done it like 4 times.
Really?
So I
Have
don't
you
hate-
always struggled?
Yes. So I was a chubby kid.
Yeah.
So I've had to work really hard at it since I just wish I was one of those kids.
You
Like
could
when
be-
Nate and Public would go to the store, Travis, our guitarist, was beanpole.
Yeah.
So like I'd be walking through with my basket with like lettuce and meats and stuff. This kid's literally got red drink and like Pop Tarts, and he's still just like rail thin.
That was
So
me.
I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
So, but I don't hate fat people. Like when I see fat people at the gym, I love those people.
Yes.
I hate fat people who don't do anything about it.
While complaining about it.
While complaining about it.
That's my big pet peeve. Like
Yeah.
we all got different pet peeves.
Right.
My biggest, and if you want to generalize it, is complaining with no action.
Right. And
That's the only thing. I could care less what you're doing.
Yep.
Stop complaining about it
Yep.
if you're not going to do it. You can hate whatever is the problem.
Yeah.
But then don't complain about it if you're not going to try and fix it.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I just want to go up to people that are like you could tell are out of shape and struggling at the gym. I just want to go up and say, dude, keep going.
Yeah.
Like, keep fucking going. Like, the fact that you're here, you're beating 90% of the people out
Yeah.
there. Like, so, but, so.
It's also a delayed gratification thing.
Yes.
It's-
Oh, for sure.
It's so
It's so
difficult to
hard.
put in the work
It's so
and
hard.
not see results for so long.
So it's sort of like my weight has been like different stages of my life. So growing up, I was just like a kind of a chubby kid.
Yeah.
But then I started wrestling. So
Why
I
were
started,
you a chubby kid?
I don't think I really ate that unhealthy. I was just kind of chubby.
Were you were you pretty active?
I was pretty active. I
So it's
played
just a
sports.
genetic- that was just a genetics
I'm
thing.
still to this day think I have a thyroid issue, but I've heard that it's incredibly hard to test for in general, let alone in men.
Yeah.
Well,
I
so
feel like
because
a
my
lot of
mom
people-
has one.
I feel like a lot of people also. I'm not saying you or your mom.
Yeah.
Use that excuse
100%.
without you actually getting the testing.
Yes.
It's just like, oh, I think I got a
Oh,
thyroid
they do,
thing.
and
I'm
I feel like doctors do too. They're
oh
like,
my
"Oh, you think you have a thyroid
stop.
problem?"
It's like
Yeah.
when they did. I think so, I read. I hear information lots of places. I can never remember where it's from. But the actual percentage of people who have a real thyroid,
Yeah.
it's like 1
Yes.
out of like 100 people.
Yep.
So I mean, there's no stats.
Right.
It's very rare that you got that
It's
from.
super rare.
I mean, you
So,
could, but
I struggled. Not struggled. I wasn't like I've never been like obese. I've just been a bigger boy.
Yeah.
Throughout times
well,
of
you're
my life.
also kind of.
I'm kind of short.
Short.
I joke about that. I was like, Vince Vaughn is just as overweight as I am, but he's a big guy because he's tall.
That's a fact.
right?
It's gotta
Because
be
I'm
a-
5'8", I'm fucking fat.
Well, it's perspective too,
Yeah.
how it looks. Just
Right.
because of your height,
Yeah.
it goes out sideways quicker than it goes up top.
So then I wrestled. Wrestling, I got super skinny, super in shape. Then I went to college.
Yeah.
College, I put on
Oh,
a
yeah.
shit ton of weight. I had a girlfriend my first year of
Freshman
college.
15.
So in addition to freshman 15, I had a girlfriend, so I had no one to impress.
Yep.
I blew up like a balloon.
Yep.
But then I started, because I wrestled all through high school. When I got to college, they didn't have wrestling. So I was like, I want to do something physical. So they had boxing. So I started boxing. And
You boxed?
I boxed.
I am so jealous of you,
so
brother.
bad.
You are an
Look
amazing.
at this. Like guys were just teeing off on me, and I couldn't even reach them. Yeah. So
I
I
didn't think
started.
about that.
Yep. So oh yeah, dude. Like every guy I boxed with, I'm just like stick out your arm. And his face, like his fist is in my face. I can't even reach him. I'm like, this
Wow.
is bullshit. And because I wrestled, through my head I was like, oh, if I could just like take you down to the mat, I'd beat the
You're
shit
not
out of you.
allowed,
But I'm
I
not
know.
allowed. So
It's instinctive for me because I wrestled in middle school. To anytime I've gotten in a physical alteration, I want to get close.
99% of fights go to the ground.
Yep.
So
Wrestling is.
Yep. Yeah.
They say that. I mean, I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. He always has such a reverence for wrestlers. You develop. I don't know. I don't
It's
know
a
what it
feel.
is. Yeah, but
It's
it's also like a core strength. Like everything
Yes.
about you is strong because when you're wrestling,
Yep.
you have to use everything.
I used to come home in high school and just cry after a tournament because every part of my body was just exhausted. And I got my ass kicked.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, this is just, why do I do this? But like, I would try to tell people the way to exhaust everything from like the back of your neck to your shin in 3 minutes is just to wrestle.
Yep.
So did that. So then I started boxing, and the guy I was training with, I was just like sparring with and stuff like that. And he asked me one day, he's like, how much do you weigh? And I was still this like little chubby guy. And I was like, I'm like 210. And he's like, ooh. And I'm like, what? He's like, I was like, how much do you weigh? And this guy's twice my size.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how much do you weigh? He's like,
Height-wise, you mean?
oh, everything.
Yeah.
Height-wise,
Yeah.
huge. So he's like 185. I'm like, oh my God.
out.
And he goes, yeah, you got to lose a lot of weight. And he's like, or else you're going to be up against 210-pound guys who are 6'3" and are going to wipe the floor with you.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
yeah.
fuck, okay. So I went from 210 down to 150. And then in the process,
Wow.
I met up with some guys who were also boxing that were doing jujitsu. They're like, jujitsu is as close to wrestling as you're going to get.
Yeah, yeah.
So I started doing jujitsu. So I started doing jujitsu. My first tournament in jujitsu I did at 150. And so I did that. I quit boxing. I got rid of that.
Yeah.
I did some ground and pound shit, but like the actual boxing I didn't. Also, weirdly enough, I'm right-handed, but I box southpaw.
Wow.
Yeah, which is super
You are,
weird.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. You're a
Yeah,
super
so I
unique
just like
person.
lined up. I like lined up like the second class, and the guy's like, "Does that feel normal?" I'm like, "This feels good." And he's like, "All right, you'll box southpaw. That's fine." So
Where
but
did you box out of? Where did you do all this?
It was just some small thing in Fredonia where I went to college. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And they had all this to offer in one place?
He was like this small individual guy that was just training himself and working with some other guy.
Wow.
So he kind of did it on the side.
Well, just because I know Sean goes to Western New York MMA, and that's something I want to get into right now.
Oh, dude, it's so much fun.
Because as logical and reasonable as I am, I forget this, that I'm 6'1", 220. So I've never really had a lot of altercation come my way.
Yeah.
And because I'm always like, wow, really?
Right.
Everybody has all these problems. I'm like, why does everybody always get into shit?
Right?
But I just don't realize that I
Right.
probably, when somebody sizes me up, it happens in a half
Yeah.
a second. They're just like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Right. It's a
And
bad
I don't
idea.
know. I'm just like, yeah, okay. Well, this life
Yep.
is easy. This is
Right.
great.
Right.
But what I want to do is develop I realize that once logic goes out the window, which that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unreasonable people
Oh,
out there.
yeah.
And I try to explain this to people all the time. Stop trying to talk to unreasonable people.
Yeah.
They're unreasonable. I mean,
waste
you
of
as
time.
an attorney.
Yeah.
Nothing you do is going to change it.
Huge waste
Nothing
of
you do is going to change the conversation. Nothing you do is going to change the end result. So then it started getting me thinking, as like, I really need to bone up my defensive skills
Yeah.
and or offensive skills.
Yeah.
Because more than likely in the future, I am going to need to do
Yeah.
that. Because you can only talk so much.
Yeah.
And that's if you're talking to a logical person. And then if you're not talking to a logical person, and it's a situation where you can't just let it go,
Yeah.
you should have some kind of defensive skills in your back pocket.
You're right.
I don't have that except for middle school wrestling
You're right.
and sports growing up, which kept me kind of strong. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of a pussy.
Yeah.
So then you started going to Western New York MMA, and now I'm like, I better go box. I better go do.
Yeah.
So that the fact that you're saying all this, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to go on a
that's okay.
tangent, but it's
Yeah.
amazing that you.
No, and what it's allowed me to do, one of my favorite things is one, if someone illogical, did I tell you the story about the guy that threatened to beat my ass on the golf course?
No.
Okay, so I'll get into that.
Yeah,
But
please.
also what I've it's allowed me to do and say with confidence is because I'm 5'8" and 180.
Yeah.
What I've told people is like you might be able to beat my ass, but I'm not gonna make it easy.
Yeah, right,
Like it's
right.
not gonna be fun for you.
Yeah,
So like you may walk out winning, but that's fine. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
you're
be
gonna have a
easy.
few
Yeah,
bruises
yeah,
and
like
bumps.
it's not gonna be easy.
Is
So
that
like
what you are now? 5'8", 180?
yeah, 5'8", 180. Yeah.
You look very healthy,
Yeah,
bro.
so-
That's a good weight for you. I like
So
it.
then just college, put it all on, boxed, took it all off, and then law school, put it all back on, and then the law school had a soccer team, and I played soccer a little bit, but I
Yeah.
never really. So, but my friends all played, and like, just you're athletic, just play.
Yeah.
So I ended up playing soccer 3 nights a week.
Oh, wow.
So I was basically the Pat Coletta of the soccer team. I
What's
was
that?
getting Pat Coletta, the hockey player.
Yeah, I know who he
Okay,
is.
yeah. So
I don't watch
was
hockey either.
I was the enforcer on the soccer field. I was getting red carded every night.
Yeah.
So like if someone needed to be pushed off the field, like I was the guy that pushed them off
That's
the field.
awesome.
So like, and just because of the way I'm built, like I ran into one of our own guys going up for a header. And
just knocked him right
comes,
out.
yeah, he comes back to the bench because he's like a soccer guy, so he's kind of skinny, not
Yeah.
like big. He comes back, and goes, "It's like running into a brick wall." He's like, "It's like," and I was like,
Well, you have that appearance to you. You're
Yeah.
you got that stout look.
I'm built like a fire hydrant, is how my
Yeah,
friends
yeah.
put it. Or my friends lovely put it a Shasta can, okay?
Oh,
They
yeah.
say, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep, so a Shasta
But
can
you're
or a fire
thinking
hydrant.
the right spots.
Right.
It's not a bad thing.
So then I played soccer and it just naturally came off and I worked a ton. Then I got married, had a kid.
Yeah.
And then the whole
Life.
And then I put it all back on. And then like once I got divorced, I was joking with my buddy on the softball team because he said the same thing. Like I come back a year later because he's used to seeing me like pretty husky.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "That's the benefit to divorce, dude."
Yeah.
I'm like, I have 4 nights free per week now.
Yep.
I go to the gym. I was like, I can eat healthy. I
Yep.
go to the gym. I'm not nearly as stressed out.
Yep.
So
Life
yeah.
is a big
Yes.
part of,
Yep. And I'm a big stress eater.
Yeah.
Like if I'm stressed
Oh,
out, which
really?
I'm thankful for. Like some people resort to drugs
Yeah,
or like
yeah, yeah.
alcohol. For me, if I'm like a super stressful day, I'm like, I want food.
Yeah.
Like which is still not good, but I'd take it
Better
over
than-
like
well, that's
cocaine
what,
every day.
We've brought up
Yeah.
addiction a lot on this, and I've said that I think there's many forms of addiction. I think the reason that opiates or drugs in general get such a spotlight on them is
Yeah.
because the results
Yeah.
are so devastating.
Yeah.
Like you can die very quickly,
Yeah.
very short period of addiction because drugs are,
Yep.
they do that to
Yep.
you. What happens to your body and your brain when you're doing drugs is so dramatic versus food. It's such a slow death.
Yes.
But that's still addiction, just like you said.
All right.
That's your go-to thing when you're stressed out.
Yeah.
Like people's other go-to thing is drugs.
Yeah,
Like,
when people
just-
say like I have an unhealthy relationship with food, I get it now. I'm like, I get that. Like I do. Like I resort to it. It's my crutch when I'm having a stressful day.
No
Like I'm not
shit.
hungry. I want it to make me feel better. And I was like, that's a problem. Yeah, so that's a problem.
Yeah.
But once you
So what are you doing now to mitigate all that? Because like I said, you're looking really
so what I tell
just a lot
people
of gym
to
time?
it's not even that. Like I tell people what I've learned is 95% is your diet.
Yep.
Like 95% is your diet because you burn so many calories throughout the day just living.
Yep.
Like just go for a walk or do something like especially in your job.
Yeah.
Like so I'm
Oh,
like
that's why I
if
don't-
you
I never go to the
if
gym.
you just eat normal or eat well. So and that's why people like fall into the victim of like keto and things like that. I'm like
Keto?
no,
I've
like,
never heard
like
anybody call
keto
it
or
keto.
keto. Yeah.
I was like,
so
I don't
like,
think I've ever heard
so
anybody call it
whichever one
keto.
it is. But like I tell people, I'm like, okay, all right. So you're telling me if you eat no carbs, you're gonna lose weight. But here's the thing. Here's how science works. If I eat 5,000 calories of meat,
Yeah.
I'm going to get fat because
See, I don't know the science behind that.
So
I
the
don't
thing-
know the science
so-
behind that.
really, in my opinion, what it is now, keto and like lowering your carbs. 100% healthy.
works, for
like
sure.
don't fill yourself up with carbs.
Yeah.
But people who think I'm gonna lose weight just doing keto, no.
No.
Like because if you're not eating carbs but you're still putting in a surplus of calories, you're not gonna
Well,
lose
again,
that
I
much
think it's
weight.
all dependent on the situation you're in. If
For
you
sure.
were a carb-heavy person and then you do go keto, you will lose weight
You'll
because
lose
your
some weight.
body is used
Right.
to using the carbs as that energy,
Right.
and then all of a sudden you're using all meat.
And then you'll plateau,
Yeah,
but
you-
you'll plateau.
yeah, exactly,
So that's
exactly.
why I tell people like you could do it as a supplement to your
Yes,
diet,
yes.
but really you just need to put yourself in a caloric deficit. That's
Yes.
it.
Well, that's what I was
Simple
just
as
gonna
that.
say. I didn't ever blow up. I've always been skinny. But
Yeah.
then there was a point where I realized I was like, "Yo, Steven, I was pushing like 250." And for me, that's a big dude. Like
Yeah.
I was getting around the face.
Yeah,
and
the
like
face is the
I
worst.
know. Oh, I hate
Yeah,
it.
the face
I
is
hate
the
it.
worst.
And it's because I was drinking 5 cans of Pop a night. Go figure
Yeah.
why I was getting it. And that's
Yeah.
where my fat sits is the most disgusting parts.
Yeah.
My face and my belly.
Yeah,
Like
right.
I will look like a skinny person completely,
Yeah.
and then I'll take out my shirt and there'll just be like this bulge, and like my jowls will be huge, and I'll just have this fat face. But my arms will be like you can still see veins
Yeah.
and shit. My legs, it's like, why can't I get fat all over? Like why can't I be
Well,
equally
see,
fat?
that's what I don't like about the beach. This is what I tell people about the beach. You either have to be ripped or boat people. You have to be ripped or fat everywhere because only those
Yeah.
two people look good with their shirt off.
Fat people everywhere
Yes,
do look
fat
good.
people everywhere look great with their shirt
They
off.
do.
They look totally
Well,
normal.
they just look like big. They
it's
don't
the
look.
people that are in shape everywhere but their belly and their face that look like shit.
Me.
Yes,
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Me.
So,
So,
yeah.
like-
So I saw that in the mirror one day, and I was like, okay, I gotta stop.
Right.
Stop drinking pop, and then I did small changes.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of keto, a little bit more protein, but all it was I would be eating pizza, right? And
Mm-hmm.
in the past, I would just not give a fuck. 2 slices, 3 slices. I'm still hungry. 4 slices, 5 slices, until I just wasn't full.
Yeah.
And now all I do is like 1 slice. Like I'm still hungry. Okay, I'll have 2, but that's it.
Yeah.
And stop.
Yep.
And just like little small, I would eat ice cream, eat the whole carton.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, okay, maybe half.
Right. Yep.
And it's if you can just get that, and then
Yep.
I've talked about this on my other podcast. Discipline begets discipline.
Yeah.
The more you get into small changes, those then become habits. Then they become bigger discipline. Then
Yeah.
they become bigger changes. It's like, and not that I hate them. The word hate isn't right, but that's why I have less pity for fat people.
Yes.
I'm like, I know it's hard, but you could still be doing little things, and you're not even trying the little things. That's
Yeah.
what gets me so disappointed.
And the
Like,
other
why
thing is,
not
too,
just
like,
do the little changes.
You're gonna die. Like,
know.
so for some people, like, heart failure and heart disease is a thing.
Well, that's why
like,
I argue that the addiction of food and addiction of drugs, like, I'm not trying to discredit it at all, but it's because it's so extreme,
Yeah.
the results,
Yeah.
it takes away from how dangerous the food
Right.
addiction is.
Right.
It's just a long, slow, painful death.
Yeah.
You're
Yep.
killing yourself over many years.
Yep.
And the rest of your life is going to suck because you're fat.
Yep.
Like, everything sucks.
There's this woman that infuriates me every morning at Tim Hortons. Fucking infuriates me. Not only does she take forever, but she's largely obese. And she's like, could I get a strawberry refresher, blah, 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 3 chocolate chip cookies, a bagel. And I'm like trying to rationalize it in my head. I'm like, okay, maybe she's like ordering for the office. But maybe she's ordering for the office, but it's different every day. There's never a list. So I'm like, nope, this is for her. This is for her. I'm like, maybe she's eating it throughout the day. Maybe she's just like ordering. I'm like, but that's even fucking stupid. Like, that's so much money. And I'm like, and also, why are you eating this? Like, why do you think I gotta go get my
So
whole
much
diet from Tim
better
Hortons?
options. So many
and
better
she's so big. I
options.
want to be like, you're going to die. Not only that, you're wasting your money while dying.
The only caveat I would put into that is if she's cool with it,
Right?
I got nothing to say.
That's a good.
If she
That's a
never-
good counter
If she
argument.
never complains about her weight once,
Yeah.
or anything associated with energy, not
Yeah.
having energy, not having focus because she's fat, good for you.
It's a good
Keep eating.
It's a good
Keep
counter.
doing
It's
it.
the same people do scratch offs that I get pissed off about. The only reason that if one of these assholes that I'm waiting for to buy all their scratch offs turns around and goes, "You're just mad because you don't have the extra money to be wasting on scratch offs,"
Yeah.
I'm like, "You piece of shit.
You're
You're
right.
so right.
Yep.
You're so
And that's,
right." Yeah.
It took me a long time for me to understand that, and that's why I like the podcast and perspectives, understanding them.
Yeah.
There's so much I never thought of. If a person's truly happy doing whatever is like fucked up according to society, well, that's society's problem, not that
Yep.
person's problem. If they're happy, they don't complain, and they got it going on.
It's people with country music. My dad loved
I like
my
country
dad,
music,
right?
asshole.
My dad loved country music. I hate it. Like, I hate country music.
Why?
Because there's no depth to it at all. There's no depth. It's the same 4
depth.
twangy chord progressions
in the
written by
music part.
5 writers.
In the music part.
Yes, right. And the lyrics, there's no depth. Like, you go through Morgan. I was like joking with my coworkers who all love Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, he's the
stupid
hottest
ass
new
names.
thing right now.
So I was like, alcohol and a girl, alcohol and a girl, alcohol and a girl, alcohol and a girl, alcohol and a girl. I was like,
And
you
my
put it
truck.
on an album
Don't
that's
forget
for
about the truck. You got
or a
truck,
truck,
gotta-
or a truck,
Or
I was
their
like,
dog too.
Or the dog.
There's no
But that's country.
musical
That's it. That's
integrity. But my dad said once, he's like, I don't know, I just have a good time listening to it.
Yes.
And I'm like, I can't argue with that.
That's what I was just about to say.
I can't argue with that.
Maybe it's I think it's because of your passion for music that's why that
Yeah, oh,
bothers
for
you.
sure. Yeah.
For me, it's
Yeah.
just like it's the best background
Yeah.
noise. It is the best radio station to have on. At my house, I have a big speaker in my
Oh,
garage,
yep.
like an old one from when I was 10.
Yep.
Right, and I just turn it on 107.7 or 106.5, and I blast that shit,
Yep.
and it's like you can't go wrong.
Right.
You don't have to worry about the kids listening to anything bad.
Right.
Like it's not anything that draws your ear. I mean, every once in a while there's some good tunes, but it's great. Like your dad said, just makes you happy.
Yeah.
Just very
Yep.
relaxing.
So I can't argue with that. But back to finish weightlifting, I just watch what I eat now, count my calories. I do like watch people on TikTok to learn different exercises
Yeah.
and stuff. I just want to be in shape. I want to live long for my daughter.
Yes.
I'm trying to get stronger. I've changed my diet over the last like 4 or 5 months. So because I lost a ton of weight, when I started dieting, I was like 230, dude. I was like 230. Realized like after the divorce and everything, like I got to get myself in shape.
Yeah.
So I got down to 170. Like got way down there. And so I was in
60
incredible shape.
pounds.
But then I started to get stronger. But I'm like, I plateaued. So I talked to my buddy who used to do like weightlifting and training and stuff like that in bodybuilding shows. And I texted him, I'm like, hey man, I plateaued. Like my bench is stuck here. My other exercises are stuck here. I don't know what's going on. And he's like, what are you eating? And I told him, and he goes, you're not eating enough.
Yep.
He's like, you need to tack on more calories. And I'm like, really? He goes, oh yeah. And he goes, how much?
He didn't differentiate between what kind of calorie?
So he did. He goes, and how much protein are you taking
Yeah.
in? And I'm like, I don't know, like this. And I was like, maybe like 60, 70 grams. He's like, how much do you weigh? I was like 180. He's like, no, nowhere
Was
near.
it 3 times it, right?
It was supposed to be 1 per pound, 1 to like 1.2.
Really?
Yeah. So that's what I tell
Is that
people
for
too.
maintenance or is that for
That's
growth?
for growth.
Okay,
For growth. I mean, I would say for growth, you need to put yourself in a little bit caloric surplus, and probably you might want to be up to like 100%, 120% of your
Yeah,
body weight for protein.
yeah.
But I tell people when they're like, I'm like, when they say 95% of is your diet, 95% of your diet, I was like, do you have any idea how hard it is to eat 180 grams of protein in a day?
Hard.
Like, you have to, like, watch what you eat, focus on it. Like, you have to, sometimes you're not even hungry.
I know.
And you're like, oh, I have to eat that chicken.
I know.
Like, and it's just like, I was like, it's really hard. So since I've done that the last 5-6 months, I've started to put on muscle. But it's been all lean, thankfully, because
That's
I've just
good.
been eating meats.
I
But
get
I'm a
like
dad.
analysis paralysis.
Okay.
When it comes to my diet and
Yeah.
working out, but I have found that it's better to have the analysis paralysis and not eat anything.
Yeah.
Than it is to eat the wrong things.
Yes.
Because and there's a lot of research on fasting. I'm not fasting as long as they say I should because
Yeah.
I'm trying to get up to 2 days. Dude, not eating for 2 days is so hard.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't do it. I couldn't even do intermittent fasting.
I made it 1.5 days, and I wanted to like, I don't even. Everything looked like food.
Yeah.
The table looked like food. Like,
Right?
everything was like, man, I wonder if I could eat this
Right?
paper. Like,
Oh.
I was so hungry, but again, I get all my information from social media reels. I should
Yeah.
not be talking about this, but I'm going to continue to perpetuate the misinformation.
Yeah.
If you don't eat for 2 days, your body starts ridding itself of cancer cells, and you produce HGH.
I've also heard that
I've seen a doctor.
The squat, which I hate, is the best exercise for producing
I
HGH.
bought a squat bar
Yeah.
because of it.
I hate
I've
squats.
also found that the hardest things in life that you like to do the least are
Yeah.
typically the best things
Yeah.
for you, and that's not eating and squatting.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the
Squatting,
two-
I fucking hate it. Like the whole thing was setting it up and getting
I
ready.
know.
But,
Dude, I bought
but-
a squat rack.
Did you?
Get a squat rack.
Okay.
It's the
All right.
easiest thing to do. And I have a bar. I put it on there.
Yep.
It's got the pegs. and it hurts my neck. But
Yeah.
I'm like, if it doesn't hurt, I'm not doing it right.
Yeah.
I'm like, get on there, and I just fucking
Yep.
squat, and I get a set of 10.
Yeah.
Do it again, and I'm like, okay, feel good.
Yeah.
And then my ass hurts for like 3 days.
I think the gland that produces testosterone is located right in your ass, like bottom of your ass or something like that. So
Okay.
that's why
Bullshit.
squats. I think it is. I think it's like right in the meat of your ass.
There's a gland that produces testosterone.
Every chemical there has to be a gland that produces it. Yeah.
I've heard the squat produces it the most. I wouldn't be surprised if something activating back there.
I would say probably because it's the biggest muscle group, the biggest muscle groups
Yeah.
that your squat is
Yeah.
calling on. I mean, your legs are the biggest muscles you got, plus your ass is a
Yeah.
huge muscle that people don't realize. I would say probably that makes more sense. But yeah, I guess. I also saw a video that when you work out, your muscles literally secrete this molecule, and they call it the hope molecule.
Okay.
Like it's literally an antidepressant.
Okay.
When you
No,
work
for
out,
sure.
it's an
100%.
antidepressant.
Yeah. Yep.
How crazy is that?
Dude, it's crazy. Like that's what I try to tell people to like when they're first getting into working out. I'm like, you will feel happier.
Yeah.
It's like you will feel happy. Just make it through 2 or 3 weeks.
I
you
know.
will feel happier. Your
That
body
initial-
your body will literally tell you, I want to go to the gym. Like I
Yeah.
want to go to the gym. Like it's the greatest feeling in the world.
That initial
Yeah.
2 to 3 week hump, though, man,
Yeah,
setting
it's
that
so
habit,
hard.
that 30 days
Yes.
of doing something where you can create the habit, that's where I wish I could help more people.
Yeah.
Because, and
That's what I
I'm
want to tell
trying
the strangers at the gym. I just want to be like, just come back tomorrow.
I
Like,
think that
who
would
cares
help.
if you look in the gym, like you look in the mirror today and you feel like you're a piece of shit. Just come back tomorrow. I promise. Like who cares? Just come back
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Well, that's why
Like,
I love being different. I like
Yeah.
talking to people about, like, walking up to a random stranger, like you said,
Yeah.
and just talking to them. Hey,
Yeah.
how's your day going, man?
Yeah.
Like, what's on your mind right now?
Yeah.
I'm like, people get so, like, what are you asking me?
Well,
What
I
are
used
you
to
doing?
ask random women out, and Jen thought that was crazy. Like, she's like, you just ask random women out? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And she's like, in like a coffee shop. I'm like, yep, 100%. And she's like, why? I was like, what's the worst that could happen? Worst case scenario, she's taken, but
Yeah.
her day is made.
Yeah.
Like, not only that, I may have just caused a fight between her and her significant other because
Yeah,
you
for
would never say
sure.
something like that.
For
Or
sure.
she's taken, or she's not interested in me, but even if she thinks I'm disgusting, she's telling all of her friends
That she got
some
hit on.
random guy asked me out at the coffee shop.
I say this
Yeah.
to all men and women. Whenever I see an attractive person or somebody doing something well, I like to tell them.
Yeah.
Just cause.
Yep.
Why not?
Yep.
It makes people so happy.
Yep.
When they're like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
you know what? I have been going to the gym lately. It's like,
Yep.
then they just get this like little bit of positive affirmation.
Yep.
They're like, oh, thank you. I am trying. I was like,
Yeah. It's all it
people
takes.
just need to be told.
It's all it takes.
And I think we were raised in a generation where it was like, keep your shit to yourself.
Yes, for sure.
And that I hate that the most.
Yeah.
Because I am the opposite of that. I love talking.
Right.
I like telling people shit. I don't want to keep anything to myself.
Right. I just want people to know. It's like the guys, maybe you know what? I'm going to make a goal. I'm going to tell 2 people at the gym this week. I'm going to tell 2 people at the gym.
That's my
You come
man.
back tomorrow. Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Hold on,
So
one,
if you-
one second. I was wrong. It's in your gonads, so your balls produce
that's what I was
testosterone.
thinking, yeah.
Yeah, but there's There's got to be something.
I think it's just the
I was talking to-
they're big muscle groups.
My balls go back
but
into my ass.
it must
body.
tell your brain to produce more test if you're working your biggest muscles
for
or something.
sure.
Because I was talking to somebody else that was a weightlifter, and that's what they said. They're like,
I
so I
think
believed him.
This you want to talk about scientific? You're a scientific person. I think it's just it's simpler than that. I don't even think it's your brain telling this, that, and the other. I think when you activate that much muscle, it's that much of a demand on your body.
Yeah.
So your body reacts accordingly.
I think
because
that's
you're
what it's gotta
working
be, right?
such a large amount of muscles, your body's like, whoa, 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 something's happening in the real
Yes.
world. He's using his biggest muscles and he's putting a lot of work on them. We need to up our energy. We need to up our testosterone. Like, I think that's how simple our bodies are.
That's the argument for deadlifts, because deadlifts I personally don't like them.
Yeah.
However, the argument is what other exercise can you put your body through a situation where you're moving 800 pounds?
No.
You can't. You know what I mean? So
and
you're
activating that much because you're
activating
getting
everything, right?
Upper body
right.
a little bit, you're getting back a little
Right.
bit, you're getting all your
Yep.
legs a little bit, your feet even.
Yeah.
You're activating.
So that's
probably
the
almost
argument
everything.
for deadlifts is like no other exercise allows your body to go, oh my God, I'm moving this much weight.
Yeah.
We all hands on deck. Like all hands on deck produce
That's what I
everything
think
we've
people
got.
don't understand.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, you can get really deep into the bodybuilding, and I'm sure there's biohacking and there's like things you can do,
Sure.
turning certain ways when you're doing it. But really, it's just you need to trick your body.
Yeah. Yep.
And the best way to trick your body is to lift heavy shit because
Yeah.
then it thinks it needs to do that all the time.
Yeah.
I just watched a video where it said so many people working out are missing the point. You have to get to that exhaustion point.
Yes,
Because
correct.
that's right
Yep.
when your body goes, oh shit.
Yep.
Like we've had enough muscle and energy to get us to this point.
Yep.
And he's asking us to do, or asking us, he, to do that much more.
Yes.
And then it's like, that's when you really start building muscle.
You need to damage your muscles. You need
Yes.
to damage them. Not tear them, but damage them to
No.
the point where they build back and they
And
go,
that's
we
the
need to
fine
be
line. I
prepared
think
for
that's
this.
the fine line is
Correct.
taking yourself to that exhaustion point and a little farther,
Yep.
but not so far that you're doing detrimental damage.
Right. Correct.
It's 6:29.
Get
We're good.
out.
Let's keep going. We're good.
I
keep
did not
going.
even. That flew by.
We're
Do we
gonna
have a
keep
hard
going.
stop?
No hard stop.
Ish. He said ish.
Ish. We're good.
ish.
Keep going.
Volleyball. We
What other topics you got on there?
weightlifting, volleyball, drugs, band-aids. I mean, we already covered.
All right, let's do. All right,
Yo,
Two of them.
hold on. What
Volleyball.
about that? You're getting to a golf fight story.
the golf
I want
story.
to
Okay.
hear that
And I
story.
was gonna say
All
we
right,
don't have
so-
to talk about my topics.
No,
If you got
golf
shit you wanna
story's a
talk
good
about.
So the golf
like,
story-
no, no,
so
I gotta tell this to the public.
One way that I try to get out of any physical, I've never been in like a street fight. Never been in a street
Really?
fight. Never been in an unsanctioned fight. Like I boxed before and
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu and
yeah.
stuff like that. But I've never been like, oh, we're gonna get physical.
No shit.
Never. Because either one, I've always told people, I'll even tell my students, I was like, there's a couple different ways to have a fight, okay? If you know you're in over your head, get crazy. Like, just tell them, like, you're going to beat my ass. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out where you fucking live. And I'm just going to come in, I'm going to beat the shit out of you while you're sleeping.
Scary.
I was like, that's one.
It's a mental game.
Or I'm just going to hit you
Get
with my
it?
truck.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to beat the shit out of me. I'm going to find out where you live. I'm going to hit you with my truck.
Yep.
I was like, that's one way. Scare the shit out of them.
Yep.
Second way is, like, if you actually are confident, like, tell them, like, this is not going to be easy for you.
Yeah.
I said, or break their brain. I was like, break their brain, just confuse the shit out of them. So, like, they are like, so that's what happened on the golf course. So my buddy and I are golfing, and there's this guy and this guy and this girl, this man and this woman in front of us, and they're going so slow the whole time. They're not letting us pass. They're going so slow. So it comes to the 7th hole. So this is how long we've just been like waiting. They're on the green, and this hole is not very far, but it's like 320 yards, 330 par 4. So short, but manageable. So they're on the green, and we're playing this game. I don't know do you know what a mulligan is?
Yeah.
So we're playing a game where you get a reverse mulligan. Do you know what a reverse mulligan is?
No.
A reverse mulligan is where you can make the other person have to take the shot again. Oh. So if they make an incredible shot,
You're like,
you
nope,
can be
nope,
like,
nope,
no, do it again. You have to take
You
a
have
shot
to be
again.
semi-good at golf to play reverse mulligans
So,
because
well, you only
me and
get
my
one per
friends
nine,
don't
though.
take. Me and my
Yeah.
friends don't take enough good shots
Right.
to have reverse mulligans.
So
Sean's one of them. Like we're not that good
So
at golf.
I'm okay at golf.
Yeah.
So
I've never had to.
So, like, if you're-
never had a friend that I could
But
be
even
like,
so, but-
hey, take that good shot back.
but that makes it even better. Like if one of your buddies who's really bad makes some
one
incredible
good
shot,
shot.
you'd be like, no.
I
Do
kind
it
of like
again.
that.
Yeah.
We might have to incorporate
So
that.
we're playing reverse mulligan and he hasn't used it yet. So I'm like, fuck these people, dude. I'm hitting. So I'm like, if I hit it on the green on a par 4, they should turn around and clap and whatever.
from the tee, you're saying?
From the tee, yep.
Yeah, that's a drive.
Yes. So I get lined up. They're on the green. I hit the ball. And my buddy just goes, oh my God, you hit them. Because the ball's airborne. It immediately leaves my club, and he just goes, oh my God, you hit them. It's soaring towards the green. And I'm like, no. Fall short, fall short, fall short, fall short. So it lands, and it rolls up on the green. So this woman's putting, and you see, because it's 320 yards away, so I can't hear anything, but I see her putting. The ball, as she's putting, rolls by her. And you see her go like this, look back at us, look at the ball again, look at her husband, go like this, and then they both point at me. And I go, I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry. This asshole, my friend, goes, do it again. I'm like, you piece
Oh my
of
God.
shit. And I'm like, dude, no, because I had this whole argument worked out in my head. Like, if they were mad, I was going to say, I've never played golf before. Oh, my God, how did that happen?
The luckiest shot I've
but
ever
if you make
taken.
me hit it again, if I hit it that well again, I'm fucked. They're going to know that,
And
one, I can do it, and two, I'm an asshole.
You're a morals and ethics guy,
Yes.
so you're following
Yep.
the rules. He
So
said
I'm
reverse
like,
small again.
He's like, hit it again. I'm like, God damn it. So I hit it again, and I crushed the thing again. But it goes to the right of the green. Doesn't land on the green, but it goes just as far to the right of the green.
Yeah.
So he hits, and he goes way right. So we're walking over to his ball. We're walking over to his ball, and as we're walking over, we see them. They've clearly already putted, but they're standing on the green.
Just waiting.
And he's like, why are they standing there? They gonna finally let us play through? I was like, no, that's not why they're standing there. I was like, that's not why
You
they're
already
standing
know it's
there.
coming.
I was like, they're waiting for us to walk up there. So it's him and his wife and me and my other buddy. Like, he's younger. He was only maybe like 25 at work with him.
Yeah.
But he's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
So he hits his shot. We start walking up to the green, and he's a short, portly fella. And I don't have a lot of room to talk, but he's just a short, portly
It's so
guy.
funny. I like how he does short, portly
he's got,
fella.
like, you can imagine what he's like. It's South Buffalo. He's got checkered cargo shorts on.
I
and
know
he
exactly.
Yeah, so
I
he
could probably
walks-
draw him for you.
He walks towards me, backwards hat,
Yep.
walks towards me, and he's
Flat
marching.
brim.
Yep, he's marching towards me. And I start the conversation. I'm just like, I'm so sorry, man. Like, I did not think I was going to hit it that far. And out of his mouth comes, you know what I should do? I go, what? And he goes, I should beat the fuck out of you. And I was like, look, man, I'm so sorry. It was an accident. And he goes, I should beat the fuck out of you. You almost hit my pregnant wife. And I was like, and this is me. I have no, like, once you challenge me, like, this was the problem with me
No
being a
filter,
lawyer.
it's
No
coming.
filter. It's coming
It's
out.
coming.
Yep. So I go, if you're so worried about your pregnant wife, then what's she doing on a golf course? And he's like, what the fuck can you tell her what to do? I'm just saying, if you're setting rules for your wife, like, she shouldn't be on a golf course if you're worried about her getting hurt. And he's like, I should beat the fuck out of you and I wouldn't even care. And I'm like, why would you care? And he's like, what do you mean? I go, why would you care? And he goes, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, you don't beat the shit out of someone and then go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, And he's like, you're fucking retarded, and he walks away. And he walks away.
You broke his brain.
Right, I did. I was like, sometimes you just gotta break their brain.
No, it's like the bullies.
Yeah.
That's what the bullies want.
Yes.
They want a rise out of you. Every time I've ever had an altercation like
Yeah.
that, like you said, where someone's really unreasonable and they're getting loud,
Yeah.
you're like, and you just stay calm.
Yeah.
They get
I stay
so
calm
they
the whole
almost
time.
get sad.
Yeah. I say,
They're almost
right-
like, oh, okay, well, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we used to become friends. Like, oh
Yeah.
man, you're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for not getting angry with me. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to fight you.
Yeah.
Like, well,
I just
where's
wanna
this
be
gonna
like,
go?
and she was clearly pregnant too.
Yeah.
And I want to be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, your pregnant wife is out here on South Park Golf Course.
Right.
You're about to have a child, and you're threatening to beat up a stranger. I could be crazy. Like, I could literally just beat the shit out of you with my driver.
Yeah.
And, like, your kid doesn't have a dad now, but you have all the confidence
gonna
in
beat
the
the shit out of
world
you.
that
I
you're going
know.
to beat the shit out of me.
That's what blows my mind
Like-
about people getting upset. Is there's a science, right? When you get that upset, it turns off like the rational part of your brain.
Yeah.
I feel like because so much of conflict is so unnecessary.
Yeah.
and you're just ruining your life.
Yep. He could have. Yeah. There was two of us too. Like, he walked away. Like, as he's walking towards us, I'm like, he's walking away from his golf bag and his wife to come towards two men who have their golf bags.
Yeah.
So, like, if at any point we would just wanted to kill him,
But that's
like,
because he's
it would-
angry.
Yes, he's showing you're not
Because
thinking.
he's
Yeah.
angry.
Yep.
The what is it? The frontal cortex where
Sure.
your
Yeah.
decision making is.
Yeah.
It's off.
Yeah.
It's gone.
He's just like,
What an
it's
idiot.
like, why would you care? And he's
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you beat the shit out of me and then care? He's like, I wouldn't. I'm like, then why do you need to say that?
Yeah, why you
do
say
you need
that?
to say I beat the shit out of you and I wouldn't even care? It's a given. You wouldn't care.
That is
You've
a-
already beaten the
that
shit
is
out
a
of me.
fantastic
And
defense.
he's just like, you're retarded. And he walks away.
Well, fuck is like universal.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Yeah.
it's so accepted now. Everybody says fuck.
Yes.
Everybody says fuck, fucking this. You can't. It's almost like you can't have a real, genuine sentence if you're not using the word fuck in it somehow.
Yeah.
I say it
That's
to my
so
kid all the
fucking
time.
cool. Really?
Yeah, I say fuck all the
Yeah,
time.
but now if people say cunt now, I'm like, whoa, things are serious. Like, what's the matter?
Yep.
Oh, that person would be such a fucking cunt. Oh, a fucking cunt or just a cunt?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, a fucking cunt. Oh, man.
Right.
That's
And
a big deal.
It's important too because this is how I feel, and I might be the odd man out on this as a parent, but I swear in front of Parker. It's not. I don't want her to think that there are words that you can't say.
Yeah.
You could say any word. You could say
Freedom of
physically say
speech.
it.
Yep.
But it's a rule. You just can't say it. You can't say yeah.
I just had this conversation with my two oldest boys. We were in the truck. I said, listen, don't tell your mom, but you can swear. But you cannot swear at school. You cannot swear in front of other adults. But if you and your buddies want to swear when
Right.
you're hanging out,
Right.
I'm like, do
Right.
you, kid? Like,
Yep.
it's just a word.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, and I think this is one of those things that you have to have these conversations with your kids.
Yes.
Because I would much rather them hear it from me, drugs, alcohol, swear words.
Yeah.
From me.
Yeah.
Not find out, not fuck around and find out with your friends and die.
Right. Right.
Like, listen, swear words are bad.
Yeah.
But they're not that
Right.
bad. Just, you have to learn when you can say them and when
Right.
you can't.
Right.
And they're like, you're telling us we could swear? I'm like, no, I'm not telling you can swear.
Right. Right.
But I'm telling you can swear as long as you use it in an appropriate setting.
And it's the
Never
same-
in school, never to adults, and
Right.
never in like a respectful setting.
Right. It's the same thing with a lot of things that we do as parents. This is why I feel fine swearing in front of her. I was like, the most important thing for me is not that she never hears fuck.
Right.
It's that
She
she
will.
knows
She
she's
will.
not allowed to say that.
Right.
So it's chocolate. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say you're never allowed to have chocolate. She just knows you can't eat that all day.
Correct.
Like you can't do that all. There's certain times you can have it.
Man, I mean,
So like
I can
it's-
appreciate another parent-to-parent conversation.
I don't need to like no.
It's so difficult.
And
teaching
what
them
kind
the
of
fine
parent am
lines.
I if the only way I could stop my kid from saying fuck is to never let her ever hear the word?
But that's
No,
not. You're
that's-
almost setting yourself up for
right.
failure.
Right.
It
I
will-
should let her hear the
Yes.
word and have a good enough relationship with my daughter that she knows I'm not allowed to say that.
That's the key. What
Yeah.
you just said.
Yeah.
I've really emphasized having a good relationship with my kids.
Right.
Because no matter how hard we try as parents, they're going to watch scary movies. They're going to see porn. They're going to hear swear words. They're going to see drugs. They're going to see alcohol. They're going to see everything we've seen.
Yeah.
It's part of human life.
Yeah.
But my job is to have a good enough relationship with my kids that they feel comfortable to ask me questions.
Yeah.
I don't ever want them to be afraid of me. And I think not to insult any of our older generation, our parents, that's where they messed up.
Yeah.
The whole DARE program, everything was to shut us out.
Right.
Everything for us when we were growing up, and this is just my opinion, was like the zero tolerance.
Yeah.
They didn't want you seeing it. They didn't want. That just made me want it more.
Right.
That just made me want to fuck around more.
Right. Yeah.
The new way, I think now, and it's not. It's again, it's a very fine line because you don't want to expose your kid to too much. I feel like that's the left woke mob. They're like
Yeah.
overexposing
Oh,
kids
for sure.
right now.
100%. Yeah.
They're overexposing, and it's not that I have a problem with trans, gay, or any of that stuff because I don't. I have gay
Yeah.
friends. I won the sexy underwear contest at Marcello's not
Nice.
once, not twice, but 3 times.
That a boy.
Yeah,
Nice.
3 times. 3 free bar
You say
tabs.
I'm famous.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I am probably pretty famous
right?
in the gay community.
Probably.
No, and again, that was like, if you didn't have the balls to be comfortable enough in your sexuality to go to a gay bar, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what I used to
100%.
always say.
Yep.
You know what? That was like my best. I would meet the hottest women at Marcella's because they would come there as straight women to hang out with their gay friends so they didn't get hit on.
Yeah.
And then they would find out I was straight, and man, did I have all the women.
Right.
And then I would win the sexy underwear contest, have free drinks all night. I mean, there was no better place to go.
Right.
But anyways,
It's a good transition,
I
and this is
digress.
what we can end on. This is what I wanted. I remember I texted you about this like a month ago. So it deals with kids and our children. I'm not usually one for like cliches and
Yeah,
cheesy
yeah.
things like that. However, we had this guest author at our school talking to our kids, and he told this story, and I first I loved it, but I also thought that you'd appreciate this.
Yeah.
He told this story about when he was a little boy. He was like shooting free throws, and he was only like 3, and he was trying to shoot free throws in like a basketball, like a full regular
Tech
basketball
photo,
in a
yeah.
gym. And they're all falling woefully short. And
Yeah.
he's trying. His dad's watching him. And he said the janitor came over and lowered the basket. And the dad told him, don't do that. Put the basket back. And the janitor said, well, he's never going to make it, though. And he said to the janitor, he doesn't know that. Like, the only way he's going to know he can't make it
Is when
is
you lower it.
when you lower it. And I was
I
like,
do like that.
I was like, holy shit. I was like, and as a parent, I'm like, how many times throughout the day do I do something where I've now told my kid they can't do it?
You know what this reminds me of?
Where I didn't need to do that. And it was like so, it hit me. I was like, holy shit. Like, and it applied to so much stuff. I'm like, I never thought of it that way.
There's a story about fleas. If you take wild fleas and you stick them in a jar, a flea can jump 3 feet off the ground, right? That's crazy for such a little thing.
Right.
But if you put a jar on the top, lid on the top, and they hit the top of the jar, after a while they stop hitting the top of the jar, and they can only jump so high. You open up the top, and because they've now been used to jumping that high, and they think that that's as high as they can jump,
Yeah.
you take them out and you jump out, they still only jump as high as the jar. But there's no jar there.
Right.
And then Tate, this is going to be, we can end it with this one. What's his name? Tate?
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Had one of the greatest short clips I've ever seen about monkeys. They took 5 monkeys and they put them in a room, right? And they put a banana way at the top, and they had to climb up there to get the banana.
Yeah.
But when they would climb up and get close, they would spray them with a hose, right?
Yeah.
And it would hurt. It would knock them off, and then they would try it. So I'm gonna mess this up. They knew to not climb up to get the banana because they thought they would get sprayed with the hose.
Yeah.
Well, they would take one monkey out and bring in a new monkey, but they didn't spray, right?
Okay.
So, or they did spray still, but they didn't know that it was because they were going for the banana.
Okay.
They just realized that if they were climbing, they would get sprayed.
Yeah.
Eventually, they rotated out all the original monkeys. So none of the monkeys knew that when you touched the banana, you got sprayed. They just knew if you tried to climb, you would get sprayed. And after a while, they didn't have to spray the monkeys. The other monkeys would pull down the monkey trying to climb because they knew what was going to happen to that monkey.
Yeah.
That's just like the social, just what you were saying.
Yeah.
Once you set your mindset on something, that's it, you're limited.
Right.
But
Yeah.
there's really no reason to do
Right.
that. It's just
Yeah.
we do it to each other and we do it to our kids.
Right.
Like we set these limitations on us because they're our fears or our
Yep.
whatever. And then our kids oh, okay, I guess I can't do that.
Yeah.
When in reality, maybe in a month that kid could have made free throws
Yeah.
at 3 years old on a
Yep.
10-foot net.
Yeah. It's like when they said that, I was like, oh my God, it's so profound. And I'm usually not like a victim to this cheesy shit, but I was like, oh my God, that's so
Made you
good.
think about what you're doing to your kids.
Yeah, it made me think about it as a parent, as a teacher. And I'm just like, how many times throughout my day do I say, let me do that, or no, you can't do that, or let me lower this for you, and I didn't need to do that.
It's so
even
hard.
if they fail.
It's so hard as a
Kids
parent.
have that innocence that even if they fail, they still don't get it.
Yeah.
They still don't get they can't do it, and that's kind of awesome.
And we could go on and on and on about this. I don't want to even start it because this is a long topic. It's the reason why I think there has to be a mom and a dad in a relationship.
Yeah.
And when I say that, it's because typically those roles, your dad is a little bit of the harder individual, your mom's a little bit softer.
Yeah.
I can experience this in my relationship with my kids. My wife always wants to step in and help, and I'm like, stop. I tell her all the time, and we've gotten into a little bit of a tiffs about it a couple times because she's mom.
Yeah.
She wants to take care of them. She wants, no, I can't have that happen to my baby.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're actually stunting that kid. You're
Right.
actually hurting him.
Right.
Let him go off and do the thing and get hurt and fail or try.
Yeah.
Every time you step in to help him or do whatever, and I'm not saying she always does this. I'm
Right.
generalizing.
Right.
I'm generalizing.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think we do this in all walks of life, not just
Yeah.
our kids. I mean, you could say that's why the participation trophies, that's why America's going
Oh,
the way
for
it's
sure.
going.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We, as human beings, we have a hard time letting the hard things happen
Yeah.
for the better benefit. We always want to make it easy. We see
Yep.
an animal on the sidewalk, a bird fell out, we want to pick it up and put it back.
Yeah.
But that bird's going to die anyways.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason it fell out. It wasn't going to survive.
Right.
and We just don't have the capacity.
Well, we learn in struggle. There's been so many studies of that. We learn in struggle.
Yeah.
That's just where we learn. Even something as much as patience. Who was I listening to? It was an actor the other day, and he was complaining about how he didn't get along with someone, and he called his dad. And his dad told him, he's like, how are you ever going to learn patience if you don't have someone to teach you?
If it's not tested.
Yeah, if you don't have someone to teach you. If you don't have to be in the same room with someone you can't stand, how are you ever going to learn to stand somebody? So it's just you have to struggle. You just have to do it.
That's why I've been chasing uncomfortableness
It's weightlifting.
lately. Yep.
You got to put your muscles to the point
It
where
has
they're
to hurt.
struggling. Yeah,
Dude, I hurt when I wake up.
Right. You have to get yourself to that point. I did see a study, and I don't know if this is true, but because I just saw the first thing about this yesterday. The guy said if you do one set of every exercise, but you do it to failure.
I did see that.
It's just as effective if you do 3 sets.
Well, what we were just talking about.
But I was like, I don't know if that's true, but it makes sense.
Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. You
yeah.
just have to trick your body into thinking you got to a point where you need more.
Yep.
You just need to teach your body,
Yeah.
at this point, I need more.
Yes.
And then it's going to give you more.
Yeah.
Whether it's 1 set or 3 or 10.
Yeah.
You
Well,
just have
that's
to get
why I
yourself to that point.
switched from regular bench press to the seated because I'm not afraid that I'm going to kill myself. So on the regular, I stop early because I'm like, if I drop this,
You're dead.
I'm dead. So I switched to the seated one
That's
because
smart.
if I lose it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I put my body in that spot where I'm
You can
like,
push yourself
I lost
farther.
it. Yeah, but so it's really increased my regular bench.
You had something
So-
you wanted to say? Sorry.
I don't remember. But I will say that without a spotter, yeah, I haven't maxed out at
Right.
the bench
You
or
can't. Well,
incline
you
because,
can't.
and I don't feel comfortable enough asking some stranger at the gym
Yes,
yet. But yeah,
right.
I've definitely hit a plateau, or not even a plateau, hit a limit with my weight because I
Yep.
don't ask people to spot me on the bench.
You need a partner.
Yes.
A
So when I
partner-
researched that, because my bench plateaued, I was like, it's an ego lift, but I want it to go. I want it to
Yeah.
increase the
Do you
two.
not use a partner? You just do everything solo?
I just do everything by myself. I even go with partners sometimes.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in one of his videos said that the reason I got to being Mr. Universe is because I had Lou Ferrigno. Was it Lou Ferrigno?
I think it was Lou
as his
Ferrigno,
partner.
yeah.
He's like, he would push me.
Yep.
He would be. You have that second person makes all
Yes,
the difference.
you put it's pretty well accepted that last 5% that you're putting in before when your muscles
what
are giving
grows the
out is what
muscles.
grows the muscles. So if you're not comfortable
confidence,
doing
yeah.
that and the confidence there's no one there, you can't do it. So for bench, I read like, what if you go alone? They said 1, that machine will really help, and then 2, do dumbbell press. So not barbell
Yeah, 'cause
press,
then
do
you can let
dumbbell.
him go.
No, you just let him go.
Yeah, that
Yep.
bar, that
Yep.
that decapitation is
Yep.
what holds
Yep.
you
So
back.
like if you get to that point where you're like there, you just let him go. So you'll build that confidence, and you can. So I alternate between barbell and dumbbell.
So the lesson to take away, and we'll end it with this, is rely on your partner and push yourself.
yes, struggle.
Fuck yeah,
Struggle.
struggle. Ooh,
Yes.
I like that. Bill Beck,
I love it.
another great podcast.
Thanks, man.
My
Thanks for having me.
Can you redo the clap?
Hold on, let me get there.
We can't hear it.
It's right in the headphones. so-
Like the last all of our podcasts, nobody's been wearing them, and we do this clap, and he's like, Sean's like, and we're like, what's going on, man? Like,
He's just
it's
so
the best
happy.
way to end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Awesome. Sweet.